Okay, so this is the second part to the original one, which was using the BMP. On this one, like I say, it's the same setup with the Bluetooth, nothing's different there. The only difference is this time we're going to be using the digital pins now. I've disconnected the TX and the RX from the Bluetooth, as when you haven't uploaded the code yet, and obviously when I come to upload that, we're going to have problems if that's connected. So what we'll do is, this is the 8-channel relay board, quite common on eBay. So first of all, I'm just going to connect up the power using an external power bank, which is basically there's three flat pack lithiums in there, something like 12 amp hours or something, probably more. So I'm going to connect the VCC first, and the actual negative of this, it's a lot easier if I just connect that to the actual board of the Arduino rather than connecting it here, because what I'm going to do is I need to take the ground from here back to the board. It's a lot easier to set it up like that. Okay, so we're going to be using pin, we'll use two through to 9. Is it 9? I think so. We'll find out when we get there. So I'll connect two. I want that on 1, don't I? So that's my first. As you can see, that's lit up already. The reason being is because the code's not actually on there yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to disconnect that, because it's going to try and power the board up, because these relays actually look for a ground. So I'll connect these up. I'll connect them up 1 through to 8. Wrong side. So that goes to 2. That one's 2. So that's 3 and 4. 2. We're on 5. 5 of the Arduino. Like I said, I'm just doing them in order. 5, and then on to the 4 on here. Doesn't really matter about the colours, as long as you know where they're going. I'll just connect them all up. It might be 9 then, so I must have been right. Yeah, so it's 9, so 2 through to 9, which will cover you for the 8 channels. So the digital pins 2 through to 9, and obviously the ones on here, they're all labelled 1, 2. It's the outer ones, which is your ground and your power, and it's all labelled on the board. Okay, so what we'll actually do now is just going to move this out of the way a second. I'll take you over to the IDE, show you a bit of the code and talk you through it. Okay, so this is the code. Like I say, we're not using any includes on this, we're just using the basic folders that's within the IDE itself. This is just the characters, so it's looking for the characters from the actual device itself. The first one here, the int power, is just an ID for basically the power switch. Obviously the serial begin is just for the serial monitor, and then we've obviously got the pins that we're using on the Arduino here. So we're setting the pin mode, we're setting them all as outputs. Pin 13, you might be wondering why that one's there. That's literally for the power, so the power light on the Arduino will turn on and off, so you've got an indication of when the power's on and when the power's off, other than the app itself. These digital writes are setting all the ones that's going to the relay board itself. They're setting them high because the board actually looks for a ground rather than a high. Or I should say, I mean low instead of a high. This is basically the loop here, so it's just waiting for the serial available. As soon as serial is available, it'll read the data that's been sent, and it's looking for these characters basically. capital J being turning on for the moo thing. It's basically for the timer callback. So obviously if you look here, you've got if moo equals 1 and time equals less than 100. It's just setting the timer for it, and then that will start the clock and it will count up to 100. It all gets reset. As you can see, they both get reset here when it's switched off, which will send the lowercase j. The power one, which is the P, which is turn the power on and off, is obviously it's the same thing again. It's just using the capital letter and the lowercase of the letter. And then for the actual writes down here, as you can see also, if the power is set to 0, you can see here it's setting all of them high. So that will be, as long as that statement's true, you see, you cannot turn on any of the relays. Once that's set to a 1, obviously that's no longer a valid statement, and it will obviously then go into the code level. And obviously we've just gone through A, B, C, D all the way up to H, and the lower cases being off, and the capitals being the on statements. On if you look on here as well, obviously it's the low value. So you could put low there, you could put digital right low, or you could just use 1s and 0s, which is basically the same thing. Makes no difference, but it's a low anyways, and that's a high. So what I'll do, I'll take you back through and we'll show you the application, and we'll get it going again. Okay, so what we'll do is, I've sent the code to the Arduino, so what I'm going to do is now I'm going to reconnect this, as I forgot before, so I've got to do this part again. I reconnect the Bluetooth and power to the relay, and the ground going to the Arduino, and that's the second time that's come out. Okay. Right, so what I have to do is move these over a little bit, make a bit of room, and bring in the phone. I'm just wondering whether I would fit it all in. Right, so what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to quickly connect the Bluetooth to the phone, being the HC06, connect, and done. Now it's connected. This is the one we're using, so I'm going to run the project, which is the control one here. As you can see, if I click the power button here, you can see now the light on pin 13 of the Arduino is turned on, meaning we've got power, and obviously now we can turn the switches on. 1, 2, go through them. If that's off, it will turn them all off, and you cannot turn them on or off whilst it's like that. This has to be on. I did that just as a cut-off function. So let's say if you had them on, you could turn that off, it'll knock them all off, and like I say, you cannot turn any others back on. So that has to be on all the time. If you lose connection, they will stay on. I haven't added anything for that. I could have done really. You could edit that in the code, so if there's a connection loss from the Bluetooth device itself, let's say you're out of range or whatever, or you forgot to turn these off, you could have it literally turn them off automatically. I've also added a like I said, the time function on, so that's all of them on now. It doesn't matter which ones are on, but as soon as that's been switched, it'll count. It's basically a second, so it'll count to a second and it'll shut the whole lot off after that second. So, as you can see now, they've all gone off. Like I say, it's the same thing as well with that shut off. Even though the power's on there, these will not be able to turn on or off until that's been switched off, which will set the I think it was moo, it'll set the moo to a 0. And like I say, you just turn power off, that will reset it and back on again, and then you're literally back to where you want to be. So what I'll do is I'll quickly go through how to actually do it on the application if you're unsure. Like I say, it's pretty similar to how it was before. So we'll just drop back and we'll create a new project. And what we'll do is we'll try and get this a bit closer. I've got wires everywhere, so I'm a bit strung up at the moment. I'm just trying to think what would be better. I'll turn that off. Let's see if you can see with that off. Yeah, there we go. That'll do. So what we'll do is we want the switches. So we'll go to a switch, and as you can see, you got the different switches there. So we'll just drag one of the switches on. I'll click edit on there. I'm just trying to get this focused a little bit better. That's a bit better. So I'll move it. That's the frame rate. It's really bad. I do apologise. So right, okay, we go to edit on here, and you can see you got your it says on it turn on text, turn off text. All we have to do with that is go to your first one and just edit that. So we'll click that off. Obviously we've done it in the code, so it's the first one is capital A for the on, so we'll just do a capital A, and next, and that one's the off, so we'll delete that one. I know you can't see it, I do apologise. Off. So then we want the lowercase a for the off, and next. I'll have to click that one. I'm not sure what that one is for. So that's the repeat value there. So now you've got basically your on and your off. You've got your repeat. So if you want it to repeat to keep sending the information, you'd tick this box here, and then how many microseconds. I've only used that one. Actually, no, I haven't used that one on anything. I did use it on the timer originally because I couldn't get it to work, but then I found a better way of doing it, coding it. So I was using it for that function. And then obviously you can have the current switch state, which is obviously want to be set to off, and then click OK on there, and that's your first one set up now. If you want, like I say, if you want to add the power one, it all depends on the code. If you want to change the code, you're more than welcome to change it to how you like, and you can use any of the other things that you'd like to use as well. I've tried using the buttons. The thing with the buttons is the statement's only true whilst you're actually holding the button. So I mean, you could add it if you wanted to temporarily turn something on and off. So we'll go to that as well. So press text. We'll just reset that, and we'll change that to the 2. So that'll be B. So capital B for on. Next, and then lowercase b for the off, and then done. As you can see, there's no other options for that. This is what I mean. This is why I wish they'd actually put more options on there and more control over the functions. Why they only put certain in for certain buttons and things like that, I don't know. It would have been a good function to be able to use those as well, because like I said, there's a few buttons there and directions and things. So what I'll do now is we'll go back and we'll run that app that we've just sent. I forgot to do the power one, so it's actually not going to do anything at the moment. Oh, it will. Oh, it will. Oh, it's because I've got the power on. The power's already switched on from the other application. From this one, as you can see, it's switched on. I'd left it on from before. If I was to turn that off now, though, it wouldn't work on the other application. So if I run that one now, you see nothing will happen now. But I'll just go back and just quickly switch that on, because I didn't add that power button in there. Like I say, you can't take that power one out. You just have to change the function. Anyway, it says power, just literally remove that, and then you shouldn't have a problem. Run that one, turn the power back on, and go back to the switch that we've just created. I'll just quickly turn the lights back on. Okay, so you can see the board. So as you can see, like I say, we'll run this app now. If I hold the button, as you can see, it turns on. When I let go, it goes off. So you could use them as temporary switches, and obviously the first one being A, which is this one here, and that's the B, C, D, E, F, G, and H. This one's obviously the pressy button, and that one's this button here. So you can see they're quite easy to set up. It's just capitals and lower cases. If you're not sure, if you haven't watched the first video, the one to do with the actual Bluetooth setup and the application and that, I advise that you watch that one. I'm not going to cover it on this one because I feel that I've already covered it quite in depth on the one before, so you'd have to find that video. And I think that's it. I think I've pretty much covered everything. Like I say, also when you're using these relay boards, don't use the power from the board, because 8 of these pulling. I mean, I think they pull about 50 milliamps each, and if you pull a lot, you know, 8 times that, so 400 milliamps from your Arduino, it could damage it. On this board I could probably get away with it because I know that the 5-volt regulator, it can handle up to about 1 amp anyways. And obviously on this board you see it's designed in a way where it's coming directly from the voltage regulator itself. I believe it's this one here. Yeah, it's the 5.0, so that's the 5-volt regulator there. And if I blow that, I'm not too bothered. I've got replacements. I can't even see it, can you? This one here. So that's the 5-volt regulator on this board. This little 3-pin thing. I've got plenty of those. I actually sell them, so I've got no end. The 3.3 volt, I believe, is built into the actual chip itself, or there might be a smaller regulator somewhere on the board. Could be this one here. I'm not too sure. But like I say, I mean, they go up to 1 amp anyways, they do, and that's a direct feed, and it's not going through the actual microcontroller chip itself, the 80 mega. So I shouldn't have a problem doing that, but I still won't do it because it's a pain in the arse to take those surface mounts off and put them back on again, and obviously it makes a horrible mess of the board as well. So that's it. I think I've covered everything. If not, please leave a comment, and anything that I've missed out I'll try and put right and get it sorted. So thanks for watching, and hopefully should get another video out soon covering something different. If you've got any suggestions as to something that you want me to cover, the LCD displays and things, I mean, I've got another project here that I was working on a long time ago. Like I say, I do things on the whim, and then as soon as I've got them working I seem to give up with them. But this is basically a readout for the BMP. I've got the BMP here. So you could use this if you wanted to have something temperature controlled, like, I don't know, like a AC. If you've got air conditioning or something, you wanted to you could control it via this. You could have it on one of the relays and have this set up as well to your Arduino within the code. If you use the code that I set up before that already had this in, you'd literally, all you'd have to do is add the digital rights for the relay board. It's that simple. You could use the code that I've already uploaded for the other one, and just add them functions in there. It's not hard to do. Just take the bits out of this code if you're unsure, just to add the different relays. But you could quite easily do that. Even if 2-channel relay, you could do the same. And you could have it, you know, you set your temperature to whatever temperature you want that switch on and off. I mean, if you want me to cover that, I could cover that. It's very, very easy to do that. I don't think you'd need me to cover that for you. But like I say, you set your temperature, your maximum, and it'll pretty much turn your relay on and off. I'll just quickly plug this one up. This was already also using the BMP. Just find power for that. I need to find the lead. So I plug this one in. As you can see, it'll I'll turn this light out, you see it a bit better. No, you can't. Terrible. There you see, so 28 degrees. Obviously it's not 28 degrees, it's because I was holding the sensor here. But pretty simple. I believe there's a I believe it's a Pro Mini as well inside here. I've also got a tutorial. If you're not sure how to program the minis without using the little controllers that you can connect to communicate with them to program them, you can actually use the older version of the Arduino, the DIP package chip. If you take the DIP package off the board, you can basically program it using the TX pins. You just link them up, and then you can program it via this. Just make sure you've got the reset of the Pro Mini to the reset of this one, but it's basically you take the power from here, and you just connect your TX, I believe it's the TX to the TX, RX to the RX, but I have got a video covering that as well, if you're unsure. If you've got the 3.3 volt one, I'm just trying to think, you'd probably have to use the 3.3 volt power on there. I'm not sure on whether it'll actually the data. I'm not sure whether it'll accept the data at them different voltage levels, but I'm pretty sure somebody commented on that video with something that I'd missed out on, and I actually appreciate what he put, because it's something I should have put on there myself, but I just assume that people already know these sort of things. Anyways, anything you're not sure of, just like I say, leave a comment, let me know. Anything you want me to cover, any screens or anything, I've got tons of screens and things that I mess on with, and things that I build and that. Anything you want me to cover, if I've done it before, or if that's something I think I can do, and you want a video or a tutorial on how to do it, just let me know, and I'll get that done at some point. Okay, so thanks for watching, and I'll see you next time.